On this episode of the Massive Agent Podcast, we are sitting down with the star of the Old Town Realtor viral video that's going around right now. Super clever video. It's a parody of the Old Town Road song, but a realtor in Greenville, South Carolina did it. As of the time that we're recording, the video has almost 1 million views. And so we're going to go behind the scenes of that viral video with its creator, Bob Tompkins.
The Massive Agent Podcast. With lead generation tips and strategies to get you more leads and sell more homes.
I love to buy houses. I like to sell houses.
It takes brass balls to sell real estate.
Wait a minute.
The leads are weak. You're weak.
I've had better.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Here's your host, Dustin Brohm.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 74 of the Massive Agent Podcast. This is a super fun episode because you've probably seen the Old Town Realtor video being shared all around our industry Facebook groups. It has almost 1 million views, and it's clever and catchy and frickin' hilarious. And so today we're sitting down with Bob Tompkins from Remax Moves in Greenville, South Carolina, the creator and star of the video. And super interesting story behind the scenes of, like, how did he put the video together? How did he get the idea for it? How much did it cost? How did he produce the video? And then what's happened since he hit publish? Pretty crazy stuff. At the end of the interview, I have a story to tell you guys about this mastermind that I went to in Vegas this last Saturday. I spent all of this last Saturday in Vegas with the top 0.5% of my company as far as income earners and producers. So amazing time. Stick with us to the end after the interview, and I'll tell you about that and why I was there and what it was all about and my experience. We are, of course, a founding member show of the Industry Syndicate. We are a member of the Industry Syndicate Media Network, and you can check out all of our other shows at industrysyndicate.com, or just type Industry Syndicate into any podcast player and you'll find the majority of our shows. If you are new to the show, welcome. My name is Dustin Brohm, your host. I am a national speaker, trainer, and real estate marketing coach. I am the host of the brand new Industry Connected show. We are on episode 4. By the time you listen to this, episode 5 will be coming out the very next day. I am a realtor in Salt Lake City with eXp Realty. Man, eXp Realty. On fire about that. I'm the co-founder of the Industry Syndicate Media Network, the first media network in the real estate industry, and the founder of the Massive Agent Society, which is our lead generation, one agent per market training program, coaching program, where we basically teach you to fish instead of just giving you leads like Zillow. We teach you how to get your own leads so that you can brand yourself, get all the upside, and save a crap load of money. We do have lifetime memberships available still for most markets, but like I said, one agent per market, and you can get all the information and find out if your market is even available anymore over at over at massiveagentsociety.com. Check that out. And for you guys who signed up for a free trial or who are now using Wise Agent for your CRM, the Massive Agent drip campaigns are now available. So if you went to massiveagentpodcast.com/wiseagent and signed up with our promo code, then not only do you have the free trial, but you now have access to our drip campaigns. You just have to go through a couple steps to do that, but they are available. We have, basically, I'm sharing my drip campaigns with you. So the drip campaign I use for buyers, for sellers, and open house attendees, free to use. All you have to do is go to massiveagentsociety.com/wiseagent, which is the CRM that I use. And I think it's a pretty damn good CRM. Fairly user-friendly, so many frickin' features, and it's very affordable. It's not insane like some of these other CRMs. So those are available if you've been waiting on those. And then lastly, we're still accepting applications, so to speak, for if you want me to come out and train you, coach you, spend the day with you, shadow you in person, in your market, in your office, at your home, wherever you work. I am doing that 2 times a month when we still have some openings available. So if you would like me to do that for you or your team or your brokerage, or even just come do an event for lender, title company, whatever, please reach out via Instagram DM at Massive Agent. Make sure you click follow while you're there, of course. All right, let's get into the show. Old Town Realtor. How freaking clever is this video? And what's funny, and we talk about this in the interview with Bob Tompkins, the star of the music video. My wife hates the song. This is one of those songs that it's so catchy, but you either love it or hate it. And I don't love it, but I think it's freaking clever and catchy. So when I saw somebody share this Old Town Realtor video into the Snap Pack Facebook group, I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious. And then I reached out to Bob, and he was gracious enough to come on the show and kind of give us the behind the scenes scoop of how we created this insane viral video. This thing has almost 1 million views. And by the time you listen to this, by the time this episode's released, it probably will break 1 million views. That's pretty damn cool for a real estate agent's video. A lot of amazing lessons in this interview. So let's jump into it with Bob Tompkins, realtor in Greenville, South Carolina with Remax Moves, Old Town Realtor. Check it out. All right, what's up, guys? I'm sitting here with Bob Tompkins, the star, the host of the Old Town Realtor music video that's gone absolutely nuts online. You've probably seen it. It has, as of today when we're recording this, we're recording on Monday, the 20th of May, 912,000 views on Facebook alone. Bob, yep. Amazing job. Super cool video, clever, timely. I have a bunch of questions for you. Most of it's just personal curiosity. But first off, welcome to the Massive Agent Podcast. How the hell are you?
Doing really well, Dustin. I appreciate having me on. It's been a crazy couple of weeks since we put this video out, for sure.
I bet. And so when did you come out with it?
We dropped it on the 7th. So 13 days ago is when we dropped. And it's been viewed at an incredible pace since then.
Yes.
So it's been wild.
Yeah, man. I keep seeing people share it. What's funny is the song Old Town Road that you did the parody of, my wife absolutely despises and hates. And I think it's kind of catchy. And so I saw somebody share the video in a Facebook group. I think it was in the Snap Pack real estate marketing group. And I watched it, and I immediately was like, I've got to go show my wife this. And I showed it to her just to kind of bug her. But as I was showing it to her and watching, I was like, this is clever as shit. So tell us, how did this video start? Like, what was your thought process? How long had it been in the works? Like, give us the spiel on it, Bob.
Right. So Old Town Road, the remix, the original song they put that out, about 3 months ago. And when I heard it, I was like, man, this is awesome. A couple weeks later, I like to make up lyrics to songs all the time. It drives my wife nuts.
Nice.
And with this one,
you get along well.
Yeah, we would. So with this one, I was like, man, Old Town Road. I'm like, every house I show is on a road. I was like, I can start making some parody lyrics to this. And I just started playing around with it one day at my house, and just started throwing in some realtor lyrics and just playing around with it. And about 5 to 10 minutes into doing that, I was like, wait, I might actually have something here. This is kind of gold. So I called my marketing team, Welltail Media here in Greenville, and I was like, guys, I think I have an idea for a video. We might want to shoot a music video for this. And they were like, okay, cool. That sounds great. If you can get lyrics written up, we're more than happy to do it. So that's kind of where it started at. And then, I probably spent a week and a half, 2 weeks writing lyrics for it. And then we spent an entire day shooting for it, and then took about 2 weeks to edit it. So from when it was published, it was about a month and a half in the works before we put it out.
Okay. And so do you do video quite a bit, or was this one of your first?
So I started doing a lot of video in January. I probably put out about 3 to 4 videos a week.
Wow.
And just branding and marketing. I use Facebook primarily as the platform that I use. But we do little videos like around town, checking out different restaurants. I have a weekly series called Beer of the Week, where me and a beer shop owner in town sit down and just drink beer. So, I mean, it's a lot of like personal branding, not necessarily like trying to drive sales or bring in leads, just trying to grow the personal brand. So I think since my mind's always on content, because we're creating these videos relatively regularly, that's why this kind of came to mind.
There's so many good lessons, like already. Like you had an idea, you didn't overthink it. You're like, this could be good. Let's frickin' do it. And you reached out to your team to make it happen. And even if you didn't have a video team, like you probably would have just figured out a way to do it on your iPhone or something. It's you had the idea and you did it. I love it.
Exactly. And I don't know if it would have gotten circulated to the extent it has, but it still would have been popular.
Yeah. I mean, you did it. It's a very well done video. And I think you're right. I mean, the song itself would have been catchy, but would it have been almost 1 million views catchy? Probably not. Probably. I mean, it's the video along with the lyrics and everything that I think makes it so funny and just so like fun to watch. So, I mean, well done. First off, congratulations on having the idea. And then like most people, this isn't just a realtor thing. Like it's a human thing. Most people have an idea, then they keep overthinking it, and then they overthink themselves right into not doing it. Right. And you did it. So, and look, 912,000 views, almost 1 million views later. And it's been shared and talked about a lot in the Inman group and in all the Facebook groups. So real quick, tell us a little background about you, like 60 seconds on who you are as a realtor. How long have you been in the business? You're in Greenville, South Carolina, which I hear is beautiful. Tell us about you as an agent.
So I've been in real estate for 3 years now. Actually, June 1st will be my 3-year mark. So been selling real estate for 3 years. I grew up in a real estate family. So both of my parents are realtors. They're in Columbia, South Carolina. And so grew up for my entire life watching my mom and dad sell real estate, and then bartended for a little bit after college, and then decided I'd try and follow my parents' footsteps. So started doing this about 3 years ago, and then a year and a half ago, I made a switch over to Remax, which was when I saw my business kind of blow up, and been here for a year and a half, and I love it. Absolutely love it. So that's the short abbreviated version of who I am as a realtor, where I came from.
I love it. Well, thanks for actually like giving us the Cliff Notes. Some people I'm like, tell us in 60 seconds, and like 5 minutes later. So thank you for that. No, but that's good. Like you have a real estate perspective, but you haven't always been an agent. You just jumped into it. But what I love is you mentioned you do 3 to 4 videos a week for personal branding. Like you just drink beer. And you even said something, you're like, it's not really there to drive sales. But that is, and you know this, I'm not speaking to you directly, but that's how you drive sales. That 100%. Yeah. You don't just sit there and hey, I'm live in front of my open house again today, guys. Come check me out at 123, Sycamore Street. That's not what works. That, unless your goal is to have people block you or unfollow you or tune you out. So you get people to like you and follow you and get to know you as a person, and then they hire you. And it sounds like it's worked.
Yep. And that's my philosophy on getting business, is that if you create content that people want to watch, as opposed to trying to sell them on something, you're going to develop a following, and people are going to organically bring business your way because they enjoy what they see on your page. They want to come back and watch more. And then when they need to hire a realtor, they want to work with somebody they enjoy, not somebody who's just trying to sell them on something all the time.
That's so key. You're 100% right. And that's what happened in my business, Bob. When I stopped talking about real estate all the goddamn time and just let people have a glimpse into my life, who I am, my personality, some people are repelled because they don't like my personality. Others are attracted, and you attract the right people.
I'm with you 100%. I started doing those beer videos, and my mom was like, this is going to kill your business. People aren't going to want to work with you. And now I just work with people that want to drink beer. So it's a lot more enjoyable from my point of view as well. I get to work with people that are like-minded and enjoy the same things I do.
Yeah. When you're yourself and you really put it out there, you attract the right people, and then you don't really get those problem clients that so many agents get. Because they wouldn't have been attracted to you in the first place. It's amazing. So tell us then, Old Town Realtor, in the last 3 weeks since you hit publish, what has the experience been like? How has it been received? I'm going to ask you about how it was received by agents online and locally and everything, by your broker and all that, but also how the community, how the consumer has received it. Tell us all about that.
Okay, so I'm going to break it down into 3 different parts. First, my broker, then agents, and then the community. So my broker loved it. He commented on it. He was like, "Man, this is awesome." He called me about it. We talked about it forever. I mean, he absolutely loved it, which is great on my end to have a broker that's supportive of the creativity and not someone that's like, "Hey, you got to do this the old school way."
Right.
I think it's a big reason why I'm at the office I am, is the fact that I do have that support around me and the encouragement that he brings with that. So
that's a key.
Yep. So from my broker, I think if this is the sort of thing you want to do in your business, you have to find that broker that supports you. So big shout out to Cameron Keegan in Greenville. He's been instrumental in pushing me forward in my business. So he was extremely receptive. Then other agents. So the agent reaction to it has actually been a little overwhelming.
We all like to talk, don't we?
Yes, we do. And I mean, the amount of different groups on Facebook that it was shared in, the real estate, different pages that published it themselves that have kind of driven the view count has been remarkable. I think I've fielded anywhere in the range of 200 to 300 messages from other agents that have asked me about it, asked me what they could do for their business, and also just congratulating me on the idea. So that's been kind of crazy, because when I put it out, it was meant as a marketing piece to my community, not necessarily to other agents. So the fact that it blew up within the real estate community has been wild, but it's also been a little overwhelming because I wasn't exactly prepared to field that many messages when I put it out.
Sure.
So I mean, but it's been cool to see, because I mean, you see people across all sorts of different brokerages sharing it. It really, kind of, in a sense, the real estate community can be very divided on brokerages and who we work for and all that. It was very cool to kind of see everybody come together on one video and share it. So, I mean, even though that wasn't the intent of the video, it is something I've been kind of proud of, that has been a byproduct of it. So
yeah, that's not a small thing. I think you're right. Like we're all, I mean, dude, I'm with EXP. And so, right. Dear God, like the headbutting between EXP and KW, and it's absurd. So you're right. Like when agents are all kind of unified in sharing something, regardless of who that person is or their office, that's pretty telling. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, like you talk about headbutting, Remax and KW have plenty of headbutting. And the fact that I saw so many KW agents that were sharing it, it was like, man, this is, it's a good piece of content when the rival brokerage is really pushing it out for you.
No doubt. Yeah. I bet they didn't even, realistically, to be fair, I think people didn't even care about who you were with.
Right.
They thought it was a great piece of content and shared it. And that speaks to how important it is to have good stuff.
Yep. And I mean, so that's been a really cool piece of this. And then finally, the community and kind of how it's been received here. I think the easiest way for me to gauge how the community has received it is through my past clients, because seeing them share it, as well as people I knew before I was in real estate. I used to bartend, so seeing a lot of people in the service industry here too also share it, and be like, hey, if you're looking for a realtor, you need to hire Bob. That's been incredible. And I mean, my client list has basically doubled since I put the video out, which,
wow.
Well, not necessarily people looking in the next like 30 days, but people that are
conversations you've had.
Right. I mean, people that have let it be known that they're on a 12 to 18 month plan or shorter to purchase a home. That list has literally doubled since I put the video out, which has been crazy. So trying to keep up with that, plus fielding the messages from other agents has made it a crazy couple of weeks, but it's been really cool to see what has happened. And I love how well it's been received in the community, because people are like, hey, he's the fun realtor in town. If you want to hire somebody, he's going to be a good time. So that's been, I mean, that was the intent of the video. So it's been great to see that, see it be received that way.
One of the biggest challenges we have as agents is staying top of mind with our prospects. And I do a crap load of Facebook ads, and it's important to, like, even people that fill out your lead form and you talk to, like, you have to stay in front of them to keep reminding them who you are. Because like you said, not everyone's ready to go right now. It may be 3 years down the road. And so when you come out of the gate and whack them over the head with this video that's extremely memorable, like you have some serious staying power as far as being top of mind, more so than normal. So I think you're going to see over the next 6 to 9 months a lot more people come out of the woodworks that still remember you, but they just haven't reached out yet because they're not ready.
Right. Yeah. Right. Which, I mean, which I'm completely down for.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Not a problem at all to have.
Yeah, that'll work. And I think you'll also see a bunch of referrals come from other agents. That's the beautiful thing of building a big network of fellow agents is the referrals that can be passed back and forth. So now you're the Greenville guy, the Old Town Realtor guy that everyone will remember for a while. And it's just going to pay off in so many different ways.
Yeah, which is super cool. So, I mean, I love that the video did produce, I'm glad it was viral because it produced that sort of relationship with other agents as well as my own community. So I think it will pay great dividends down the road. And I mean, that was the whole point of putting it out. It was a marketing piece that did what it was supposed to do.
And so with that in mind, how much did the video cost? How much did you spend to put it together?
So it was about 30 hours worth of time putting it together, and $2,000.
Damn. Okay.
And when I say 30 hours, I'm including like the time writing it. So like writing the lyrics and getting everything put together. There were certain parts of the song that took a lot longer to piece together because we're trying to keep kind of the rhyming of the original song, keep that same kind of system in place. So there were some lyrics that were tougher to write. And then, we sat down as a team and kind of figured out what we wanted to do, what kind of props we wanted to use. And then of course you had actually filming it, which filming it probably took about 10 hours. We spent an entire Saturday, filming. So that all goes into that 30-hour period. And then it was $2,000. So
awesome
video production, when you look at ROIs, was pretty affordable.
Oh, totally. I mean, dude, even if you close one deal 9 months from now, like that's all good. It's all gravy.
Yeah.
Awesome. See, hearing that it took 30 hours and 10 hours of filming and all this, I think there's some people listening that unfortunately they're like, oh, because that's a lot of work.
Well, yeah, and I think they think that, but at the same time, when I'm like, it took a month and a half. So you're talking 6 weeks. That's like 5 hours a week.
Yeah,
so,
and you're having fun.
And I'm having fun, too. I mean, it was the most fun thing I've done for my business probably since I've started. Because,
the fixtures look like boobies, like, jumping in the pool. Like, dude, that's my favorite part. It cracked me up. But, yeah, I'm sure you had fun all along the way.
Along the way.
Yeah, but work... I'm constantly nagging on this show about how work is the variable between those who are successful and those who aren't. It's not a big like information gap. We all have access to the same information. There's doers and those that don't. And you decided to do it. You invested $2,000 and time. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it was more than 30 hours with, how much time was taken up in your head coming up with stuff too.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah. And then time afterwards, like responding to messages and, all that stuff. Like it's work, but my God, it's so worth it.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
So moving back to the reception, to the, how it was received, what kind of criticism did you get? I imagine you got the unprofessional comments, especially about the fixtures. The fixtures look like boobies part, which is the greatest part. And I think you need to do a whole spin-off on that. But we can talk about that later.
So, I mean, my two personal favorite parts of the video were the fixtures look like boobies, and then when I'm in a Chewy suit.
Of course. Yeah.
So those two parts I absolutely loved. And of course, those are the two things that would be considered unprofessional, which, I mean, I heard a little bit about that, but I mean, whenever I could look back and see who was making those criticisms, most of them were, at least 50 plus years old, very suit and tie type of realtor that was making those criticisms. I didn't hear the unprofessional criticisms from any sort of consumer. So, I mean, that was whenever the criticism is across the aisle, it doesn't really bother me because it's just other realtors talking. So, that when I heard the unprofessional stuff, which really wasn't that much, it didn't really bother me. I think the biggest criticism was just people that, didn't think it was funny.
Sure.
Which, I mean, they say, don't ever read the comments, but, honestly, the comments.
But you did.
Of course I did. I read every single one of them.
Yeah, you're a human.
I'm a human. But, I mean, to be honest, probably about 95 to 96% of the comments were very positive. So
wow.
I think that it was so fun and so laid back of a video that people enjoyed it so much that there wasn't a lot of negative backlash on it at all. But, I mean, of course, you had a few people who are like, hey, this isn't funny. There was one guy that, and this will show you that I literally read everything. There was one guy that shared it that was like, I'm embarrassed to be in the industry. And I commented back to him. I commented that SpongeBob gif of him like mocking you. I was like, I'm not going to listen to the haters, but there really weren't a lot of people that said anything negative. That was probably the most negative comment I read, saying that he said he was embarrassed. But then I even had people comment back at him that were like, we know who the fun person is in the industry. So
seriously. Yeah. I bet he's a blast to work with and be around. He must be embarrassed a lot then. My God. Well, that's awesome that it was hugely like overwhelmingly positive because it wasn't that crazy. It wasn't like that. I don't know if you saw that one that the Australian agent did that was kind of, Inman calls it racy, where he
with them dancing in the house.
Yeah. That was so tame, but people made a big deal about that, and the naked realtor lady. I don't know if you said that one where she blurred out.
She added me on Facebook after, and I messaged her. I was back and forth with her because I absolutely adored that video. I thought that was genius what she did. So the fact that she shared my video as well was pretty cool.
Nice. Yes. And dude, you're always going to get somebody. I mean, I like to say dogs don't bark at parked cars. If you're moving forward and doing something, someone's going to be squawking negativity at you. But I'm glad that it wasn't too bad. Because it was just a good video. So
yeah, no, I appreciate that. I mean, yeah, the positive feedback on it's been awesome. But yeah, as you were talking about the naked realtor, let's shout her out. Her name's Erica Wolfe. She's down in Florida, but yeah, she, when you have the creative ideas, you're going to get feedback that sometimes you don't like. But I think all exposure or most exposure is good exposure. So if you're getting, 50, 100,000 views on something, it's well worth it, even if you get some negative backlash.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of upside even in the negative shit. I mean, it is what it is. Like, look, a lot of times we're just not honest about this, but when we're in such a competitive industry, everybody knows a realtor. Like, everybody has a realtor or two within arm's reach, almost at all times. Like, it's just gotten crazy. I don't care what market you're in. It's crazy. And so you have to really do something to be noticed, and then remembered. Like, it's not just getting noticed. Yeah. It's, of course you've got to walk that line of not being remembered as like a terrible human being or, any of that stuff. And there's a fine line there, but you've got to push the envelope a little bit. And I respect it. Yeah, I may not agree with some things I see, or I might like some things I might not have done myself, but like, I get it, and good for them.
Right.
It's not my freaking business. Good for them.
Well, I mean, Yeah, I mean, I'm with you 100%. If I had done a video of a listing and I was naked, it would not go over well. Okay.
I don't know. That should be your next one and see. Do a little A/B testing.
Yeah, see what it looks like on this side of things. But yeah, like that sort of thing I don't think would have worked well for me. So I mean, I played to my strengths as far as, being humorous and doing that. I think it worked well for me. And I think that's what anybody needs to do. They need to be creative, work to your own strengths, but you have to put yourself out there. If you're not doing that, you're never going to drive the business.
Right. No, 100%. And when you and I were setting up this interview, I think you mentioned you were on, because of this video, you've been on a couple other podcasts. What else has really changed for you career-wise since this video?
I mean, the biggest thing that has changed has got to be, the brand recognition, just that people know who I am. I mean, like people already knew who I was because I've done a very good job within my community of getting myself out there. But the amount of people now that have walked up to me and just been like, "Oh man, you're the Old Town Realtor," and it's like, yeah, I am. It was funny because when this got published, I was in Seattle. I flew to Denver the next week, and when I was in the Denver airport, I had somebody walk up to me and say, like, "Oh man, you're that Old Town Realtor," and I was like, "You got to be kidding me! I'm halfway across the country right now. Somebody knows who I am." So, I mean, that's been the biggest change, which, it's kind of hard to keep that from going to your head. You got to remind yourself every day, like, hey, 2 weeks ago, I was nobody, So, I mean, it's been cool, but it has changed. It does change things from that aspect as far as people, not necessarily just knowing who you are, but wanting to talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, and you were doing so good. You were, making all this progress, and then you came on my show, and I mean, Bob, you're throwing it all away here. Big career risk, as you'll find out soon enough. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully, I'm kidding. Do you have any other videos planned? What's next?
Yeah, we've got a couple things in the works. Not necessarily music videos. I think this one worked really well, but I don't know. I felt like it was pure inspiration, so I don't want to try and force inspiration by going out and finding other songs to recreate. So, I mean, if that inspiration comes again, then we'll absolutely do it. But we've kind of got some ideas for some spoofs, like doing some like TV spoofs or off of different shows. I don't want to get into too much detail because I don't want somebody else to beat me to it. But
sure.
Doing some like kind of scene spoofs from TV shows and doing some kind of like lighthearted comedy that we think will work really well. So we'll see when we put it out there. But the creative machine's always working. We're always trying to think of the next thing we need to do.
Absolutely. So do you know Shannon Milligan in Richmond, Virginia?
I do not.
She, excuse me, she does a lot of video, and she does like little parodies of Stranger Things, Mission Impossible, Breaking Bad, these short little videos that are kind of clever. And when you were describing what you're going to be working on, it made me think of her videos. Check it out. Her page on Facebook is RVA Home Team, and all of her videos are up there. She's been on this show before. She's actually she loves this, by the way. She's our number 3 most listened to episode of all time. So yeah, check her out, Shannon Milligan. She does a hell of a job with video as well. And I know she's a big fan of your video. We talked about yours. So her videos might give you some inspiration on some stuff as well.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm already looking her up on Facebook. So
nice. Well, Bob, I know you probably have some appointments, some deals to close, and all that good stuff. Before we end every interview, I like to do some rapid fire questions so people can get to know our guests a little bit more. So if you're ready, let's jump into the rapid fire. So you're just going to pick either or, Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook.
Instagram or Snapchat?
Snapchat.
Book or podcast?
Podcast.
iPhone or Android?
Android.
Jesus, it always goes off the rails there with some people. It's all right. Alexa or Google Home?
Alexa.
Burgers or pizza?
Burgers.
New York or LA?
New York.
Mountains or beach?
Mountains.
Are we in a real estate bubble or no bubble?
No bubble.
Podcast or vlog?
Oh, I'd say vlog.
YouTube or Facebook Live?
Facebook Live.
Nice. Uber or Lyft?
Uber.
Gary V or Grant Cardone?
Oh, Gary V. That's not close.
It's not close. See, that's the right answer. Exactly. And then what's one app recommendation that you can give the peeps? Any app. It doesn't have to be real estate related or business related. Just what's your favorite app right now?
Oh man, my favorite app. That one's tough. You
can give a few.
Well, I'm starting to get into TikTok. I love that's fun.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I haven't really built a following, but that one's real fun. Then I love my Wells Fargo app. That I like seeing my money.
Yep, that's important.
Oh man. And then my business would be nothing without Messenger. So those are my top three. Messenger makes the world go round for me.
Nice. Perfect. And then if you can do this really quickly, what's the best and worst piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice is be yourself. 100%. Worst piece of advice I've ever received was to pay for leads.
From a
Zillow or a realtor.com. Tell them, to pay for your leads because, if those people ever stop selling you leads, you're screwed because you're going to build your business on it.
100% with you on that. Awesome. Bob, thanks so much, man. How can people find you if they haven't already followed you after seeing Old Town Realtor? How can they find you and see all your future stuff?
Yeah, so the best way to find me and consume my future content is going to be through Facebook, and that's at Better Call Bob Tompkins, and Tompkins is Tompkins. There's no H. So at Better Call Bob Tompkins, you'll find me there.
Awesome. And then whenever you listen to this, you can also go to massiveagentpodcast.com and click on episodes. We're going to embed Bob's video from Facebook into the blog post. We'll have the show notes and links that you can find him and follow him on Facebook as well. So we'll put that in our show notes. And Bob, I'll send you a link to that once it's live. Awesome. And yeah, man, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Awesome job on the video. I'm stoked to see any future videos that you come out with. It's it's going to be hard to top Old Town Realtor, but you know what? I think you're one of those guys that might have another hit in you. At least one.
I hope so. But man, thank you again for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Take care, man. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Dustin.
Man, that was one of the most enjoyable interviews that I've done because he knows his shit and there's so many lessons and so many gold nuggets. I hope you guys pick those up. He did so many things right, and it all started with just having an idea and then doing it. He just did it. And look at everything that's happened since. Bob, thank you so much for being on the show. Great interview. I learned a lot, and that was fun. So if you guys want to get the show notes for today's episode and a link to check out Bob and his content and follow him in any future videos that he puts out, which I'm super excited to see, all the show notes for every episode we do is over at massiveagentpodcast.com. If you have not visited massiveagentpodcast.com, check it out. I highly recommend you do. We have a lot of resources over there on the resources page specifically, but all of our past episodes, there's some other helpful stuff. If you're a fan of this show, make sure you visit massiveagentpodcast.com and peruse what we have going on over there. All right. Our flash briefing, Massive Agent Minute. If you guys have not yet listened to that, you don't need an Alexa device, you don't need an Echo device. You can actually just use the Alexa app on your phone and enable the flash briefing. So as long as you have an Amazon account, you can listen. All you have to do, whether you have the app or an Alexa device, is say, Alexa, enable the Massive Agent Minute, and it enables our flash briefing. And then whenever you want to play it, and we do have a new episode every single day, 7 days a week, 365, is just say, Alexa, play my flash briefing, and all your flash briefings that you're subscribed to will play. Please go check that out. It's an extension of this show. It's a way for us to stay providing useful information and ideas and strategies and tips and app recommendations and, everything that you like from this show, just in bite-sized chunks every single day. It's called the Massive Agent Minute, and go enable it now. And if you have been listening, if you would, please leave us a review. It really helps us to be seen and grow our audience on the Alexa platform. Same with the podcast platforms. If you guys leave a rating or review, you have no idea how much that helps. And it's, I would hope that we've given you some value over the last, months, weeks, whatever, that you've been listening. And so all we ask in return, the only fee we have for the show is please share this show with a friend, share it with a colleague. All right. Let your other real estate industry friends and partners know about this show. And then please take 3 seconds to leave us a review or a rating on iTunes or wherever you listen to the show, and we'll love you forever. So I had a great experience this last weekend in Las Vegas. I actually flew down to Vegas for a mastermind with some of the top. So it was the top 0.5%, the top 0.5% of eXp Realty agents. And it was amazing. And me, it was crazy. And so I was invited, because I have attracted a certain, I've been able to bring over a handful of agents to the eXp Realty side of things. And so I was invited to this high level mastermind. It was absolutely incredible. The lessons I learned, the people I met. If you have not heard our episode, let's see, it was episode number 19, where I talked about the pros and cons of switching brokerages, how the grass is not always greener. That was when I first switched brokerages for the first time in my career, and I decided to leave a flat fee discount, not for the consumer, for the agent, brokerage, where I was paying $500 per transaction. I got a few things, but I was like, why would I ever leave? It's only $500 per deal, right? Then I opened my mind to why this company is growing so goddamn fast. eXp Realty is growing organically. We're not acquiring other brokerages. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying the growth you see in eXp Realty is 100% organic. We're not growing by acquiring other companies. We're growing by people switching over. So there must be something to it, right? Look, it may not be for you, but I'm telling you guys, with what I saw this weekend, and the people I've met and just how they've been able to take advantage of the opportunity, specifically with creating an additional, or actually 2 additional revenue streams on top of just selling homes, on top of commission. Like, guys, that's why I joined. I didn't want my livelihood and my family and my future to be 100% dependent on just selling homes, just commission. The average millionaire, the average millionaire has 7 passive income streams. Okay. 7 streams of income, most of which are passive or residual, I should say. I mean, usually it's not always passive. You have to be doing something to keep it going, but residual, right? And so that stuck with me ever since I heard that 15 or 20 years ago. That stuck with me. And so I've been looking for ways to have additional revenue streams. And when eXp Realty came across, I had some friends that went over there, and they're like, you have no idea. Like, why aren't you coming over with us right now? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm happy where I'm at. I was closed-minded, and which I get. I was closed-minded for over a year. I finally was like, you know what? It's not going to do me any harm to at least look at what they have going on. Everyone I talked to over there is excited. I want to see why. I don't have to join. Let me just see. And once I made the decision to open my mind and take an honest look, you can't unsee it. I was like, okay, so this is why it's growing so fast. This is why so many people are so freaking stoked. And I realized this is for me. So I say all this because after last weekend at this mastermind, I really got a glimpse of just how powerful the other revenue streams can be and how you can build them doing what you're already doing. See, that's the beauty. You don't have to go create extra businesses that distract you from your real estate business. You're building them all within your real estate business, doing what you're already doing. If this resonates with you at all, guys, you need to go to massiveagentpodcast.com/EXP. MassiveAgentPodcast.com/EXP and click play. All right. And if you haven't listened to episode 19 of the podcast, go back, way back to episode 19 and listen to that. I'm telling you, you owe it to yourself to at least take an honest, open-minded look. It's not for everybody. It's not. Okay. I'm the first to admit that. And I'm one of those people that based on what your priorities are and what your goals are, and you know, what your strengths and weaknesses are, if I'm like, you know, this brokerage model is not for you, I'll tell you, you know, it's not for everybody, but it was for me. And honestly, it is for most people. So do yourself a favor. Don't be so shut off to at least taking a look at what someone else is doing that is obviously catching fire. Go to massiveagentpodcast.com/EXP or shoot me a DM on Instagram and say, hey, what's going on with EXP? Look, I'm not a hard sell guy. I think you guys know that by now. I'm there to answer questions, point you in the right direction so that you get the info so that you can make an informed decision on whether or not it makes sense for you. And if it doesn't, I totally get it. I get it, right? It has to be right. And it's not for everybody. But how will you ever know if it's right for you or not unless you take a look? DM me on Instagram or just go to massiveagentpodcast.com/EXP and watch that short video that lays it all out. Okay. All the details, all the numbers, all the details that you'd want to know, to wrap your head around the concept. That's all. Guys, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. You are such an amazing audience. I appreciate everything that you guys do. I appreciate all the messages. I am trying every single week to do a better show and have better guests and more value. You know, and you guys keep me going. So thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. If you haven't yet, guys, go check out my new show, Industry Connected. It's now a podcast. So not only is it live on Facebook every Friday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern on the Industry Syndicate Facebook page. And by the way, you can go to Industry Syndicate's Facebook page, watch the replays, or go to our YouTube channel. Or if you prefer to listen to podcasts like me, just go now wherever you're listening to this, just go search Industry Connected and subscribe to our new show. Okay. It's a different show than this, completely different. And if you're an agent or a loan officer, this show is a must. Go check it out. We'd appreciate if you would subscribe, leave us a rating, leave us a review, help us to grow the audience on that as well. And I will continue to put out the content for you guys with you guys in mind. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Go sell some homes and close some loans.